Hi, I'm Jenna, also known as Retro Lemon, and this is episode 36. As always, a big hello and thank you to all the returning viewers who come back week after week. And a big hello to all the new members in the group and all the new viewers. And I'm so glad that you took the time to join me. First up, I want to remind you that today is the 17th. It is Wednesday the 17th that I'm recording. And pre-orders for the Retro Lemon Studio t-shirts is almost coming to a close. You have until, today's Wednesday, so you have through Friday the 19th of October 2012 to get those in. All the information is in the group. If you go to the show notes on the website, retrolemonstudio.com, there is a direct link to the Ravelry thread where you can find all the information. Lindsay, who's also known as Little Lippy U, is doing the shirts with the Retro Lemon Studio logo on it. It is just like a solid logo. It's not like with all the colors, but you get to pick the color of your shirt. You can pick crew neck, v-neck, classic fit, or relaxed fit, and all kinds of colors. So all the information's there. You can post in the thread what you would like, or PM Little Lippy U, aka Lindsay, directly and let her know. And those are pre-orders, so she can order you exactly what type of shirt that you would like. I wish I had my phone. Let me see here. I wanted to show you what the logo would look like. Hopefully I can bring that up easily. I should have been a little more prepared, but it just hit me that I would like to show you what the logo looks like, so you know. So I'm so excited she was able to do that for me, because I've bought shirts that she's done. The one I wear often, because it's like my favorite shirt. So I think I've probably worn it, I don't know, 3 times on the podcast. It says love, and the O is a little ball of yarn with knitting needles in it, which is a super comfortable shirt anyways, and I love that I could pick, because I like v-necks and everything. So this is the logo that will be on the shirt. It'll be across the chest. So super excited that she wanted to do that for me and the group and all that. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get mine. I mean, she's got to order it and everything, so I'll be waiting like the rest of y'all, and I'm excited because I think it'll be really cool. I'm getting a black shirt with the logo done in silver because I think it's sharp looking. I have she did the Dancing Dog Dye Works shirts, and my Dancing Dog Dye Works one's like that. It's black with the silver, and I really like it. So moving on into the knit-alongs, our accessories knit-along is outstanding. I am so impressed with all the entries and all the stuff that people are getting done. So I know here in Ohio it's getting cold. I don't feel like we had much of a fall. It seemed to go from like really, really hot to now really cold. Like, you gotta bundle up to go outside, especially in the mornings. So, but the leaves are falling. Our trees will be bare soon. But it is mid-October. So 2 weeks to get those in. The thread will close October 31st at noon Eastern time. I think we'll still be in daylight time, so Eastern Daylight Time. Or if you look it up, like time zones, it's New York time zone. We're in the same time zone. Also, our October October Monster Knit-Along, that is a joint knit-along with Diane of Knittables, is going strong as well. And I'm telling you, Halloween must really bring out the creativity in people, because I've loved seeing all the different like Halloween yarn themed monsters where they're just knitted up in the Halloween themed yarn, and the hand spun monsters, and the ones dressed up in little costumes. Love those. Those are so much fun. Like I said, because I think the creativity comes out. It's so much fun to take this little critter and really dress it up and make it into something all your own. And that's the fun part about toys, is you can customize them however you want, and it's amazing. And the thing I like most about toys, and I've always said this, is there's no wrong way to make them. There really is no wrong way. They can be a little wonky. It's fine. You can switch out safety eyes for buttons or needle felt, or, like I said, you can do so much with toys, and they don't have to fit. That's what I love. I'm not a real big garment knitter because I hate that it has to fit. I mean, if you're putting that much time, effort, and usually money, because it's not cheap to knit a garment, you kind of want it to fit really good. So, I love toys for those reasons. So that is also closing October 31st at noon Eastern Daylight Time. I do believe Diane is closing on the 31st as well, but I think you might have until midnight for hers. Don't hold me to it. She just said October 31st. I watched her. She recorded yesterday, and I watched it today. And she just said October 31st, so I'm assuming you'll have till midnight. But double check with her just in case. So, I have a couple thank yous that I want to share, and I hope it's okay that I say thank you because I didn't think to ask. I don't know why. I should have. Like, blonde moment on my part, I guess. But I'm going to thank them anyways, and I hope they don't mind because I love them to pieces, and that's why I'm thanking them. First up, Susan, the wonderful sewer, seamstress, behind Cave Girl Bag, sent me this cute little owl bag. It's one of her oddball sizes, so it's smaller. It's almost like a big notions pouch, or if you had, I'm thinking this is going to be perfect for like when you knit little ornaments or hexie puffs or something little, or it could be a very nice generously sized notions pouch, which would be awesome too. I haven't decided what I'm going to use it for yet because I'm like, I could put so many different things, but it's smaller. It's got a smaller bottom. But I love the size and I love the fabric because everybody knows I love owls. They're like my second favorite animal behind squid. Unfortunately, there are not many cute squid items out there. I'm not saying there's none. If you go to Etsy, you can find like homemade cute squid things like out the wazoo. And some ugly ones, let's face it. But owl stuff is so much easier to find, and so there was this really cute owl fabric, and I love that it's yellow and green, and there's little orange owls and a green owl with orange polka dots, like, hello. And then there's some pink and little sky blue owls, and I love this one peeking out of the tree. So I love her bag so, so, so much, and we've become good friends. We text, like, all the time. I don't think a day goes by and we don't text, which is so much fun. And it's lined with pink, pretty pink that matches one of the owls, and these cute little orange tabs, and I love her button. Super cute. It says girlcavebags.etsy.com. So a huge thank you to Susan. I totally love your face, and all your texting. You make me laugh all day long. And then next up, I want to thank Carrie, who is Knit Pearl Girl, because she knows, I guess, that I love owls too. Because it's not like it's like obvious or anything, right? And I was so going to print this out, and I went to print it, and my computer went, you're out of ink. So she gifted me the Owl Obsession Afghan, which is so cute. See if I can blow up the picture of the Afghan a little. Can I make it bigger? Like, how bigger can I make it? Look at that. Isn't that adorable? And I'm like, it's crocheted. And I'm like, oh, I love to make crocheted Afghans because they go so much faster. I've knitted one Afghan. Never again. So this one's crocheted and it's these cute colorful owls. And it's made out of chroma from Knit Picks. And I'm like, I think I have some of that laying around. So, chroma is super, super soft. It would make an amazing blanket. I could maybe replace this one back here. That's a thought. But anyways, it was so sweet because she just did a random, ooh, I almost dropped it. A random act of kindness and gifting me this. And you know, I was just kind of having a rough morning that day. And to get that, find that in my mailbox on Ravelry or message box, it was so nice. And Carrie, thank you so much for thinking of me and for doing that for me, because it really made my day so much better. Just, it really did. And I always try not to complain when I have a bad day, because you know, I always heard growing up that no matter how bad of a day you're having, somebody's having a worse one than you. So I try not to complain about it. But you know, some days you're just like, oh, why today? and just to get that, because I was kind of having one of those days, was just so kind. And I appreciate it so, so much. And I am so going to make that once I get Christmas out of the way. I've got to declare that Christmas has me a little nervous. Yeah. Because I make like 95% of everything I give. Yep. That much. Like a ton of it. And I'm like, crap. And I'm like everybody else, I mean, I don't have like an exuberant amount of funds for Christmas. My kids, half of everything they get is handmade by me. I hand make everything from my husband and I that we give them for Christmas, and then Santa brings anything that is store-bought. That's how it works here. So I have a lot of stuff to make. My kids get a lot of homemade stuff. They of course, they all want socks. I'm like, really, people? Do you know how long socks take me? They don't take me that long, but sometimes I just get bored with the same thing. But that's neither here nor there. Once Christmas gets out of the way, it'll all be good. So, if you've been on Ravelry in like the last day, especially if you've checked out my group, you will know I have a new pattern out. I'm so excited. I'm so excited to share them with you because I am in love. In love. Oh yeah. You heard me. Oh, with Sam the super monster. Or super monster. Super frog. Saying, I'm a frog, dang it. I'm telling you, I'm recording later than I'd planned to. I was scrambling to get everything together, so my brain's all super frog. My brain is still thinking about the monster knit along. I was going to say, Sam is going to be perfect. If you still need to get a toy in for the monster knit along for Halloween, you can make a super frog. He has a little cape. Like I said, my son I had made the frog, and the frog was kind of his idea to begin with, and the frog kind of sat around like this, armless and limbless and no cape for a while. And I had made, like I said last week, I'm sorry I went on and on last week, and you didn't get to see it, but I was really excited. And I played around with different legs and feet, and I really try to keep my pattern simple. And there is a reason for that. Not because I can't design a more complex pattern. I could. But I figure, I have noticed if my patterns are more clear and simpler, people are more likely to make them over and over and over again. And then I feel like you're getting your money's worth. I figure if you're going to shell out $6 for this pattern, I want you to feel like you'd make it more than once. Because I've shelled out $6 or more for a pattern and been like, I am never making this again. So, I try to make them quick and simple, and I try to make the patterns as clear as possible. Like, I really try to make it so you hopefully won't need to contact me. It's not that I don't want you to contact me. I want to make my pattern so clear and well written that you don't need to. That hopefully if you're contacting me, it's to tell me how much you like the pattern. So this was the one that was finished last week. It is knit out of 716 knit, out of her 716 strong base, And you could win a skein of 716 strong in the hot pink right here for doing the monster knit along. And I have to say, this yarn is so squishy and it knits up so nice and it is so soft. Like, this is one snuggly toy. Yeah. And I had gone to the 716 website, and Jen, the dyer behind 716, didn't have anything that was solid. There was some stuff that was kind of variegated, but nothing that would really work with the colors in the yarn. And I don't know that she never has anything like that, but just when I went and looked. So I kind of went stash diving, and my son has claimed this. He says this is his frog. No one else can have it. And since there's blue in it, which is his favorite color, we found a blue that really complemented the blue in the yarn, and he has a blue cape. So the cape, I mean, you can take the cape off. You don't even have to knit the cape if you don't want. But like I said, he decided when I was done with this sample, he goes, Mom, I love it, but it needs to be super. Well, upon asking him, you know, what would make it super, he said a cape. So he had specific, like, he's like, well, I don't want it too long past his butt. I'm like, okay. And, you know, he was very specific in what he wanted. So I thought instead of just making a cape for this one and then getting a bunch of messages of, well, how'd you make the cape? Because I know that'll happen. I'm like, I'm no fool. I just decided to write up the cape pattern with it. And it is Sam the Super Frog. Yay! I just love him. My son cannot wait. He gets him when he gets home today. Because I said, well, you can't have him until after I take his pictures and show him on the podcast. So, because I know once I give it to him, I won't get it back. So, oh, and the colorway of this 716 yarn is Embrace This Thing Called Life. And the cape is Cascade 220 Superwash in the Puget Sound colorway. And I think, don't quote me on this, I will look for sure and put it in the show notes. I think it's like colorway 883. On Jimmy Bean's website, like I said, it's called Puget Sound. So, I can't just have one sample, right? So, I have 4. So, moving into my finished objects, I'm trying to think what was finished next. I think it was this one. I'm trying to go in order here. I can't always remember. I love him. He is the Super Frog. We've had so much fun with these samples. I'm telling you, they've already been pretty well played with. But I always have to round them up. This one is knit out of Another Crafty Girl, who the dyer behind that is Sarah, who is super nice and super sweet. This is the Marina Wurst in the Kermit colorway. And the cape is Cascade 220. It's called Really Red, or it's number 809. That I know for sure. Little cape. So I thought that complemented the green really well. And I love this, like, it's like a tonal colorway. And it's just all different kinds of greens. I just love this. This kind of reminded me of a Kermit. So there's that frog. And then the next one, this is the one that sat around limbless for months. many months. And this is Knit Picks Brava, which is their worsted weight acrylic. And for an acrylic, it is super soft, and I found it ridiculously enjoyable to knit with. Like, I would so knit more toys out of Knit Picks Brava, especially since it's washable. I mean, that's the great thing. So like I said, this is the Pea Pod colorway, and the cape is also knit out of Knit Picks Brava in the orange colorway, because they got creative with that yarn color. It's orange. And of course, it's orange and green, my 2 favorite colors. I had to do one, orange and green. And last, but certainly not least, I love this one too. This one's so much fun. I kind of think of this one as the girl out of the group. So she could still be Sam, short for Samantha, right? It is in Dancing Dog Dye Works, Waltz Worsted, in the Emma colorway, which is this color, and Perfectly Purple Cape. So, in the instructions, I will tell you, because it's not giving anything away, I do say to lightly block the cape. Because if you don't, first off, this will flip up, it'll go flip up, and then the sides will curl in. So, I don't give any specific dimensions to block too, because it's not important. What I did is I went and I put a little bit of cold water in the sink with a dab of soak, the wool wash, and then soaked it all, I think 20 minutes. I think I like walked away and came back, a little bit later. And then I just laid them flat on a blocking board, kind of just squared up everything, pinned it left it until it dried. And then they lay nice. The capes lay really nice. So that worked perfect. It's the only time any of my patterns have ever said to block something. I'm like, I felt so weird typing that up. I'm like, I never thought I'd put block in my patterns. So this one's fun. I mean, this one just shows, as does the 7161, just how much fun toys are in a variegated yarn. So I really love this one too. And of course, Dancing Dog Dye Works is soft and squishy, and I love it. It makes wonderful toys. So those are my Sam the Super Frogs. You have 2 weeks left to get one knitted up and entered into the Halloween Monster Knit Along. You can do it. And then I have another finished object. I'm like, holy crap. I'm full of them today. I finished my sweater. This is Lucy by C2 Knits. I knitted out of Cascade 220, the regular 220, not the superwash. It is from the Heathers collection. So it has like an avocado green and a deep olive green, and it's like heathered. It's really pretty. I do not find it to be scratchy. I had it on earlier and I found it quite enjoyable to wear. And then also for the trim and the cuffs, I use Noro Curon in the colorway 185 that I had in my stash. And I love it. I think it's very autumny. I guess I could put it on over the sweater I have, because the sweater I have is not a bulky sweater at all. Not that you'll be able to see it on me really well. It does need blocked. I have not blocked it. I finished it last night and then woven my ends this morning while I was watching Diane. Because Diane had posted on Plurk that her new episode was up like right as I was going to bed. So it waited till the morning. So I really like it. It fits well. It's a little on the big side. And I even kind of went down a size. I was kind of in between two sizes. And I decided to go with the smaller one. And I could have went down another one. Because I think it's very loose. It's very drapey. I kind of wish I would have made the sleeves just maybe an inch longer. Even a ½ inch. But I'm hoping when I block it, the sleeves will kind of smooth out a little. Because definitely where you start the knit and purl, the garter stitch, but it's in the round, so you actually knit a row and purl a row, it kind of like sucks up a little into the sleeve. So I think once I block it and straighten that out, and it'll lay nicer. The only other thing that I'm not like thrilled about, it's not that big of a deal, is my cuffs don't match. Like in a big way. Noro is notorious for having knots in the skeins. Now I used 3 skeins of the Noro Curon, not the entire 3 skeins. I probably used 2.5, but they had knots in them. 1 skein had only one knot, and 2 skeins had 2 knots in it. And I decided to cut out the knots and actually cut up the yarns. Or, like, I went and wound them all, cut out the knots, and lined them up so the colors would continue in the pattern, like for the trim. Like, I love how the trim came out. I'll take it off and show you closer. So when it was time to do the cuffs, I did not have 2 little skeins left or anything left of the exact same colors. So no matter what, my cuffs were going to be different. So I just grabbed the biggest ball left out of all the little ones and just thought, you know what, I'm going to start. I started on this cuff. It started with the red. It went to like this wheat yellow color. Stopped there, picked up this one, went into an olive green and into the light purple and dark purple, and there you have it. That's the only thing that bothers me. Besides, like I said, it's a little big. But, I mean, there's nothing I can do. It fits good. It's comfortable. Just if I were to make it again, I'd go down a size. Another size. I love making it out of the Cascade. No complaints there. I bought 6 skeins, and I used just a little bit under 5.5. So I maybe used 40% of the 6th skein. And like I said, I used probably about 2.5 out of the 3 skeins of Noro. Oh, I have it upside down. I'm like, how did this get all discombobulated? Okay, see, I love all the colors. There's purples, there's rusty reds, rusty oranges, olives, like this honey wheat yellowy color. I love it. I think it's absolutely gorgeous. Perfect for fall. And then I'm going to a fiber show on Saturday, and I had planned to have this done by then. So I did. I worked really hard to get it done, and I'm excited so I can wear it. Saturday, now, my husband and I were talking because I'm like, this was Saturday, just this past one, and I'm like, is today Sweetest Day? His eyes get real big. He's like, I don't know. So he like got on his phone, like Googled it or whatever, and he's like, nope, it's next Saturday. And he's like looking, he's like, did you know that only like the northern Midwest around the Great Lakes region celebrates Sweetest Day? And I'm like, what? I thought it was a national thing. So according to a couple websites he looked at, supposedly not the whole country celebrates Sweetest Day. So I guess it started in Cleveland, and not being that far from Cleveland, that's why we celebrate it. It's just a greeting card holiday for anyone who, in case you don't know what it is, I don't know, I'm curious. Like, do the people, like, in California celebrate Sweetest Day? It's kind of like a second Valentine's Day, and it's the 3rd Saturday in October. Now, we were looking at, like, how Sweetest Day started online. I don't know if it was, like, Wikipedia or something like that. He was looking it up, not me. And, he was like, well, it started in Cleveland, and originally it was to show people in your life who don't always get thanked and shown your appreciation towards them all the time as a day to do that for them. Well, it's now taken on a different meaning of being like a sweetheart, you know, or a significant other type thing, like a second Valentine's Day. So, you know, so you know kind of moment. But I just guess I was really surprised, since my whole life I've always known of Sweetest Day, and to hear that not everyone might know about it. So I'm curious. Anyone out there who's not in like the, you know, Midwest, especially like Great Lakes region, do you know about Sweetest Day? I'm very curious about this now. Enough about Sweetest Day. So that's what we're doing for Sweetest Day. We're going to the fiber show, and that's it. We normally don't celebrate it. But moving into works in progress, in my girl cave bag, I love this thing. I am so excited. I got socks. I started socks because I bought this sock yarn last year, And I was going to knit it for Halloween last year. I was like, oh, I'm so trick-or-treating in my witch socks. Yeah, it didn't happen. So, I decided this year, since Diane of Knittables is having the self-striped sock knit along, and it's moving into October, that I'm making another pair of striped socks. So originally I had planned to just go and do the heel flap and gusset and all that. But now I'm starting to think maybe I want to do afterthought heels. I don't know. I'm torn because I'm at the part on this sock, this is the first sock, where it's time to put in for an afterthought heel. And I'm torn. So then I was like, oh, I'll start the other one, right? Because I always work 2 at a time. I'll do like the cuff of, well, I do the cuff, the top, the ribbing part on each one, and then I'll do the leg on one, the leg on the other, and so on and so forth. So I always have 2 going so I don't have one sock syndrome. Well, then I got the other one done. Oh, my needle's sticking in it. I got the other one done to where it's time to put in the afterthought heel. Shoot! I'm now to the same point on both socks, and yes, my stripes have to match up. I do not like non-matching socks. I don't know. I still can't decide if I should do an afterthought heel or a gusset. Gussets fit me better, but I like the look of the afterthought heel better. I'm really torn. I don't know what to do. But I better decide by tonight, I guess, if I want to work on them. Not that I don't have other things I could be working on. And that's it for works in progress that got any love. Because I don't keep showing things if I don't work on it. Yarny Goodness. I have Yarny Goodness this week and I'm so excited. Because I had fun buying yarn. I didn't buy a ton. I did do a pre-order for Dancing Dog Dye Works in the twist sock, which is my favorite sock base ever. It has a nice tight twist and they wear awesome. And it is in the Frankenweenie stripe. So it is black, gray, and chartreuse. And I love the chartreuse. I think the chartreuse is probably like my all-time favorite shade of green ever. But like I said, the twist sock from Dancing Dog Dye Works, which is the same base that my witch socks are. But you know what? I totally forgot to say. Duh. Hello. I'm so excited to show you the new yarn I got. I forgot. It is Dancing Dog Dye Works yarn in the twist sock base. And it is called Ugly Witch. She had these last year. I don't think they were a pre-order. I think you just snagged them in an update if you were lucky. And she had the good, the bad, and the ugly in the witches. So there was the good witch, the bad witch, and the ugly witch. And I got the ugly witch because they were the most that screamed Halloween to me. So, anyways, back to this yarn. Like I said, twist sock base. I go and I put all my hand knit socks in like a mesh bag. Like I think they're called like lingerie bags. I got them at Walmart. You can sometimes find them at dollar stores. And so I wash all my hand knit socks in cold water in one of those mesh bags, and then I hang up my socks. And this sock yarn washes up so nice. They are so soft, and the color holds beautifully, and I love them. So I was so excited to be able to get one of these. Frankenweenie. I love it. Next up, I had seen this pattern. I will show you the pattern. It's from JoJo Land Yarns. It's called Autumn, and it is an interlock shawl. Now, once in a while, I check, if you go to Ravelry and there's a thing in your, oh, what do they call that? In your, like, it's not your settings. Profile? And there's a thing where you can click on your friends, right? So if you click on your friends and you click on their activity, you can see what they've stashed, what they've favorited, projects that they've posted pictures about. And Christina, who worked, well, I don't know if she's back working at the yarn shop that I frequent or not. I know she took the summer off. But anyways, I noticed she had put this in her favorites. And I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. And I have learned interlock is something that you either like or you don't. I have met very few people that are kind of like, about it. Normally people love it or they hate it. So I had seen this shawl and I was like, OMG, I love it. I love interlock. So I went and clicked on the thing because I was going to buy the pattern right then and there on Ravelry. You can't buy the pattern on Ravelry, which annoys me. I'm not going to lie. So then I went and clicked on JoJo Land's website. Put this in the cart and I was going to buy it. Looked at the yarn. The yarn was expensive on their website. I think it was like $7 a skein for a 50-gram ball of yarn. Now, I know that's not overly expensive, but you need 10. And then I looked at project pages, and some people said you actually need 11 because you run out. I'm like, crap. That's like $70, $77 if I buy all the yarn full price for 10 skeins. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to buy the pattern, and I can use a different yarn. I can always use Noro or something. And those are at least like 100-gram skeins. So I went to go check out, and it was taking me to like another third-party site, and I was like, whoa, not happening. You know, so I'm like, surely I can find this somewhere else. So, Yarn Market had it, and Webs had it. So I clicked on Yarn Market, and I was like just about to buy it through Yarn Market, because I'd heard of them, and I've heard of Webs. And then I clicked on Webs' website to see what price theirs was going for. And I think the pattern was $6. And on the JoJo Land website, it was $7.50. So I was going to buy it through Webs. And then it came up with the yarn that they used, which is the JoJo Land Rhythm. Yeah, Webs is closing it out. So they had it for $3.49 a skein. Yeah, like half the price JoJo Land had it on. And I think Webs had the original price as $5 something, like just under $6. But I'm like, really, $3.49? I fell down. I was all over it, and I was good because they had some of it in orange, green, and yellow. My 3 favorite colors, orange, green, and yellow. And I decided I needed to expand my comfort zone. So I went with color M24, which was called Sunflower. It's so not me. I don't know what I was thinking. It's pretty, don't get me wrong. And look at these itty bitty little skeins. They're not big at all. They said there are 50 grams. You get 110 yards. So there's yellows, browns, reds, and blues. And it's kind of neat because like each skein looks different. Like, oh, and there's hunter green in this one. This one's red, hunter green, navy blue, and brown. And I have 11 of these things. This one is navy blue, olive green, and yellow. So, you know, you can see each one, I mean, definitely looks different, but they had it like knitted up in like a little sample. And I liked it in the sample, and I don't know. This one is red, yellow, and blue. I mean, I know it has long striping transitional colors like a Nora would. But it's not. It's a marled, I don't know if it'll pick up the detail. It's a marled striping. You know, the color doesn't fade, it twists. So, I do. I have 11, I have 11 skeins of this. And it will be that, I think. I don't know. I was trying to be good, and I was trying to expand out of my comfort zone. And I love the color red, and I just don't knit with it. I don't wear it. I look good in red. Like I said, I like it. It's just not one of those colors I'm drawn to, I guess. But I think there's a lot more blue in it than I realized. Especially it's navy blue, which is my least favorite color ever. So we'll see. I have 11 skeins of it. I'm like, crap. And then I bought the pattern through Webs. So we'll see. Next up, I bought yarn with a purpose. I have 2 skeins of Vanna's Choice from Lion brand. It is 100% acrylic, and it's 2 skeins in the mustard colorway. And then I got that from Joann's. And I got this. It's a skein of Lion brand Quick and Cozy. So it's different than the Thick and Quick. It's like fuzzy, and I hate touching it. My sensory issues are screaming right now because it's fuzzy. Oh, it makes my skin crawl. I gotta put it down. And there's a reason I ordered it. First off, I didn't realize it was gonna be that fuzzy. Yuck. But it's gonna be a Christmas present because you see, my son wants this. It is a lion pillow. It is from the Winter 2011 Knit Simple. So if you're interested in making your own lion pillow, you might be able to get back issues from Knit Simple's website. So I'm like, okay, it's going to be a pillow, so I want it washable. And especially since it's a pillow for kids, because let's face it, when kids are sick and they want their favorite pillow or animal and they're going to cough and sneeze and possibly puke all over, it needs to be washable. And so I just decided to go and use the yarn the pattern called for. So it does call for Vanna's Choice in the mustard and the Thick and Quick in the paprika. I like that it has a ball band on it. I can pick it up like this. It's called Paprika, which makes me think of Sock Bunny. Her daughter had her dolly Paprika. I am not looking forward to handling that at all. Like I said, my sensory issues are just through the roof at the moment. And then I have the brown at home. I do have some Vanna in the brown for the nose. So that's what he wants for Christmas. One of the things. That and new socks. So, oh, and there's some on his tail too. Look at that. Yuck. I don't like that stuff. And it was expensive. Like, I think it's like $9 a skein on Joann's website. I'm like, really? But Joann's was having a sale. So, all their yarn was 30% off. So, I paid just a little over $6 for this. And the Vanna's Choice, which I think are 100 gram skeins, were $2 something. I think normally they're about $3.49. Yeah, 100 grams, 3.5 ounces. So, I will be knitting that. That does have to be done for Christmas. I'm like, there's so much I want to knit for Christmas. I have a Christmas tree that is full of nothing but hand knit ornaments. And I really wanted to make a super frog for my Christmas tree. I don't think I'm going to have time this year. So maybe after Christmas I can make me a mini frog. And the tree stays up year round. Like, we don't light it up until Christmas, but it's in the corner of the dining room. I'll have to try to remember to put a picture in, if I can find one. I'll try to put it in here. And, I was like, oh, my tree needs a super frog. So, we'll see. We'll see if I can whip it up. But I just feel like this year, it's already almost Halloween, and I have nothing ready for Christmas. Nothing. Okay, last today, because I have no fiber, no spinning. All my focus was on the frogs and getting that sweater done. But I do have a book review, because when I placed my order with Joann's, I had a coupon code that if you spent $25, you got free shipping. So since everything I bought was on sale, I couldn't use like a 40% off coupon or anything. And the Joann's by me does not carry the Thick and Cozy in the store. they only have it online. So I got the Lion Brand yarns, and then I got this, because my daughter has taken interest in knitting. So it is the Teen Knitting Club, and I saw this reviewed, a few months ago on the Knit Girls, and it has great reviews on Amazon, but it retails for $17.95, which isn't bad. It's a hardcover book. It is spiral bound as well, so it lays flat, which is really nice. And I thought it would be the perfect thing for my daughter, who is a teenager. And she's 13, and I thought this would be perfect. It has a lot of trendy, newer type patterns. I mean, I'm trying to think, when was it published? It was published in 2004, and there is some novelty type stuff in it. But my daughter, that like excited her. Like, really? It's only because she's too young to appreciate, you know, other stuff. But it's really nice. It gives you, it talks about materials, the different types of fiber. It talks about weights, and it gives you an idea of like fine, light, medium, chunky, super chunky, needle sizes to use, how many stitches per inch, stitches per 4 inches. It talks about substituting yarns. It tells you how to read a ball band, which is really nice. I'm like, I wish I would have had a full idea when I started knitting, because I didn't. It also tells you, because you know, there's all those symbols on a ball band. Let's see, the Vanna has one. And it just has, it shows you these symbols up here. Hopefully you can see those. And these symbols here. Now, not all ball bands tell you what those symbols mean. I know, I've gotten some and I'm like, what the heck? So it does, it has a chart in here about all the symbols you will find on the ball bands for a skeiny yarn. And I'm like, that's awesome. It talks about accessories that you might need. And then it has really good directions. And I like that it has arrows. And the arrows have like little dotted lines, like showing you the movement, like showing you where it'll go. I mean, I think the directions in this book are excellent. Kind of wish I would have had this when I started knitting. It talks about gauge, which is nice, decreasing, joining yarns, weaving in ends, 10 problems and what you do about them. So it's really, I mean, I'm really impressed with the book. Like I said, it says Teen Knitting Club, and, oh, my nose itches, my allergies are going nuts. But it's not just for teens. I think the book is just great for adults. I mean, I kind of, you know, it's one of those things I get they were going for a certain market. Teenagers. But I think that would keep other people from possibly picking the book up. So, you know, it starts you off with a garter stitch scarf. I don't think it gives you any directions on this page. Maybe. But, you know, I mean, so I think that's the first project, which my daughter started, a garter stitch scarf. Trying to think some other things she loves. There's a button scarf. It's kind of hard to see. Which it is just a garter stitch scarf, knit horizontally, and you add buttons to it. And she thought that was really cool. We love buttons in our house. We love to decorate with buttons. Let's see. Trying to think of what else she liked. Just from her point of view. She really liked the hats. She was excited about, this is a rolled brim hat. The pictures, I don't know, I think when they're showing you these aren't always the greatest, you know, like that. I mean, but it's a hat. What else? She wants to make a sweater. Let's see. Oh, this one. I was thinking there was a hat she liked even more. This one is a roll brimmed hat, but it talks about embroidery. It actually shows you. I don't want to show too much of the pattern to give away the directions, but it actually will show you how to embroider flowers on that and stuff. And she loved that. She thought that was really cool. There's a sweater she wanted to try. I think it was this one. It's like a little, what do they call it? A stockinette boat neck shell. Because she's like, oh, it looks really easy. So I think that's on her to-do list. And then there was a blanket. It is a friendship blanket. And pretty much I think what everybody does is knit. You're supposed to get friends. And you're all supposed to knit strips. Yeah. And then you join them together. I was like, well, are you going to try to get some of your friends to learn how to knit? She's like, no, but I might make a bunch of strips in different colors and sew them together and give them to my friends. And I'm like, okay, go for that. You know, I'm not going to discourage it, but I'm thinking, honey, that's a lot of work. But if somebody, you know, would get determined enough, it'd be her. And there's a glossary, which my daughter, being a student, found really helpful. She likes glossaries and stuff like that. Sources as well. And a sheet for notes, which she thought was cool. I don't write in any of my books, but this is hers, and she can do what she likes with it. So, yes, there's... Oh, I didn't see this flipping through, but she was excited about this little necklace here on the cover. So, I got it, I think, for around $12. Being 40% off from Joann's. It said online only, so I don't know if you'll be able to find it at a Joann's store. I don't know. Now, if you go to a Joann's store, in the yarn section, there's books. Those are stocked by Joann's. If you go to the book section, where there's a variety of books, you'll find sewing books, knitting, crocheting, paper piecing, I mean everything. That area is stocked by a separate company. An outside company comes in and stocks those books. So you could find this in that area, but I'm not promising. But it is on Amazon. I just know, I think it was a little cheaper for me to go through Joann's, especially to get the free shipping. So that's why I got it there. And, like I said, I think it was well worth the money. She is very excited about it. She thinks it's a very easy book to use. And she's making a garter stitch scarf. Like the one, I mean, let's face it, you don't really need a pattern for a garter stitch scarf. But it got her motivated. We're not using the same yarn and needle size they recommend. I think they call for a bulky. And she's using a regular worsted weight with, I think, size 8 needles. 8s or 9s. So... highly recommend it if you have a younger person who's really interested in learning, or if, you know, you're an adult and you're interested in something like this. Don't be shied away from the book because it says teen on the cover. So, thumbs up from me, thumbs up from my daughter, and I recommend it. And that's it. That's all I got today. So, just a reminder, I am Jenna, Retro Lemon on Ravelry, Plurk, Twitter, Pinterest, the website where you can find all the show notes and links to everything I've talked about today and in the past is at retrolemonstudio.com. So until next week, I'll see you then. Bye.